Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with an extra special video from inside the Eve Echo's final test. At long last we have the Capsuleer Outpost constructed, along with several modules to fit into it, so I'm here in a bestower to carry that out into space and actually get it set up. Now this is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos, as ultimately, normally what I do is a little bit of research beforehand, I try things out, I get a setup all sorted, then I come back and record it all. Because of the nature of this particular one, because of how expensive the Capsuleer Outpost is, I essentially have one shot to do this. So I'm going to be figuring out how to put it together, and how it all works live as I record it. And of course this is a very expensive thing, so I've had to keep this very hush-hush from even my own corporation. We're going to be going out into space, trying this out, and fingers crossed it all goes well. We've had so many raids from JR recently, a Chinese raiding party. I am absolutely terrified of what's going to happen when I undock. So, hopefully this is a good video. Anyway, before we jump in, if you do enjoy this one, let me know by hitting like on it, consider subscribing to the channel for all things Eve Echoes, and ding that notification bell to know when the next video goes live. Now, if you've got a video you want to see me make, a topic you want covered, a question you want answered, or a ship you want me to look at, that kind of thing, let me know in the comment section below. Come find me on social media, and come join the Catskull Cartel Discord. Plenty of public channels on there for you guys to talk to each other, meet some other guys who really want to talk about all things Eve Echoes, and if you need some help, it's a great way to find some support. Now, talking of help as well, if you do want to go the extra mile and help support this channel, you can do so by joining me over on Patreon. Every single dollar, every single pledge really means the world to me and makes a huge difference. It really helps support this channel. That said and done, let's have a look at the bestower, let's have a look at the Capsuleer Outpost as it is in my inventory, then let's undock and have an actual look at it. So first things first, the Capsuleer Outpost itself. Let's look into the bestower, because this has a structure maintenance bay. That's what we're going to look at here. Capsuleer Outpost. So this itself is basically a ship. It is a Citadel class ship. You can see it on screen now. It's basically your own private space station, which quite frankly I think is incredible. No specific traits, attributes and fittings are down here. This looks pretty confusing to me just because it looks kind of like a ship, but with a difference. It's still got 2 high slots, 3 mids and 2 lows. I'm not sure how that actually works in regards to fitting the other bits and pieces, but that is the outpost itself. Now here, as we look at the modules that we've built, you can see we've got a standard stand-up small missile launcher, which is, of course, a type of defense and a high slot. This looks fairly standard, like the statistics on there look normal. We've also got a medium missile launcher, which is going to be better against medium-sized ships like cruisers, and a standard stand-up large missile launcher for taking out anything a little bit bigger that gets close. Those appear to be our high slots. We then have mid slots, in the form here of a standard stand-up stasis webifier. Again, does exactly what it says on the tin. My goodness, I wish a stasis webifier on my ship had a 40-kilometer optimal range, but there we go. Along with a warp disruptor, which was ironically a lot easier to get than a warp disruptor that you'd fit on a ship. Again, 40-kilometer optimal range is awesome. Just means that if someone tries to get onto your station, they can't warp away, and your station is likely to finish them off, or the protective party that comes to the rescue will finish them off, along with a standard stand-up energy neutralizer. To me, that seems like a fairly decent defensive network, something to slow the ship down, something to neutralize its power grid, and then something to stop it warping away whilst it gets blown up. Now for the low slots as well, we have 2 different centers, a repair service center, which of course allows you to repair your ship, and a reprocessing service center, which is used for like reprocessing ores, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to take out into space now, and we're going to have a go at actually putting this together. And the reason I'm doing that in a bestower, if we go into fitting, is simply because, as I said, it's got that extra at the bottom there, structure hold capacity, so that it can carry structure pieces. Otherwise, it's a very typical industrial ship. You've got a +1 warp stability, which means we should be able to warp away if someone tries to tackle us. +5% armor for each point in advanced industrial ship defense. I don't have any points in that. And advanced industrial ship command would give structure hold capacity increase as well. But again, I don't have points there. I have gone pure combat for this beta. For the rig, for fittings, we've put in a couple of Mark 1 warp core stabilizers that I just had lying around, just in case anyone does try to lock me down. It gives me that extra little punch to get out of the way. Right, well, I think enough is enough of me talking. Let's undock and actually give this a go. I'm terrified of pressing that button. So here we go, I have now undocked. Oh, words cannot say how tense I am. Let's get the local overview open. We're going to double check that. We recognize everyone on that list, even the person who's not in corporation. That is an alt, so we're happy there. Okay, so Stargate, let us go for a fleet command of jump the fleet through that Stargate. Now, I've got Alex the Master with me as well, of course. He has agreed to help provide an escort. Just in case anything does go horrifically wrong, he's there in a Cinnable just to help keep them away from me or blow them up if they try anything. Oh, crikey. This bestower is so ludicrously slow. How slow is that rotation? Increase to warp, and away we go. Just, oh, nerves. Nerves are shot on this. Oh, breathe. It's okay. It's okay. We've got the all clear. We've scouted the system ahead. I'm only going one jump out here just to have a little look-see. He's warned me that there's a friendly at the gate here. Good, because I would be freaking slightly at just even seeing anything. Again, that's Dernick. That's fine. We're happy with that. He's jumped through. We've still got the all clear. Oh, okay. Relax. We've got this. We can do this. I just don't want my one chance. I don't want to have the whole thing of us having built a Capsuleer Outpost only for me to get it blown up in space. Yeah, we are the only two in local, which is pretty cool. Okay, while we are still under the effects of the cloak, it was Planet 7 I liked the look of. Ultimately, it doesn't matter which planet we go to, it was just the one I like the look of. We are going to Fleet Command, and we are going to warp the fleet out to this planet. Of course, as I'm doing that as well, Alex is getting a fleet command on his screen that he's tapping, and it'll take him through. Being in a Cinnable, he's probably there already whilst I'm still... There he goes, off he goes. Whilst I'm still aligning, he's probably already there. Oh man. Okay, it's fine. It's just two of us in local. I've just got to figure out how this works once we get there. So, we're going to warp up to the planet, which is, of course, a lava planet. I love the look of the lava planets. I could have put this just on the one that is in N7BIY, but I figured hiding a Capsuleer Outpost out here as well would help us in the event that there was some kind of raid around. It means that we could stop a gate away and base from there. Okay, so let's have a look. Structure Maintenance Bay. There we are. There is the button. There is the big red launch button. Anchoring time, 24 hours with a 15-minute preparation time. So we'll see what happens when I press launch. Number of structures available for current system, 0 of 7. Must be over 150 kilometers away from any existing structures. Must be over 3 astronomical units away from a planet. Distance required between structure and planet warp-in point, 50 kilometers. No overlay with other collidable. Okay, so do I get to move the camera? I've got some controls on screen now. That doesn't seem to allow me to do much, annoyingly. I've got the camera there. I think it's so I can move it, but obviously with how I am... Ah, there... Whoa! Okay, that thing's huge. Okay, so I've zoomed the camera out a bit now. And that allows me to move... Ah, there we are. That allows me to move and then rotate. Okay, cool. Cool. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to hide this, basically, behind this planet as best as we can. So that's going to be there. We're going to hit next. See what comes up next. Name this citadel. Oh boy, I wish I'd thought of more of this kind of stuff beforehand. Well, we're going to call it Catskull Staging. Point. There we go. Just a next will do nicely. After losing its hull and armor, the structure will become reinforced for a period of time. When reinforced, the structure is invulnerable and cannot... And cannot what? I'm guessing that means it comes through pre-configured reinforcement deactivation countdown will begin after the Citadel has lost all its armor hit points. The reinforcement will remain active until the set time point. The Citadel cannot be attacked while it is reinforced. If the Citadel's shields are below 90%, you can't change. Okay, that's kind of confusing that we don't have the full details there, but let's set a Friday and time of, say, 6 o'clock. There we go. We're only testing. So that's dropping there. Okay, so that's now in space. What's going on with it? Okay, we've got what appears to be a timer around the side. Preparing to anchor, 14 minutes and 40 odd seconds. Okay, cool. So that is our point in space. I'm going to have to sit here with this, I think. I'm not going to keep the video going for that full 14 seconds because I'm going to run out of things to say and you guys are going to get ludicrously bored. So I'm going to pause. We're going to come back once that's hit 0 and see what happens. We're in the final 20 seconds now, so we're going to see what happens. Fortunately, we've had just a couple of friendlies pop in and pop out of system, but here we go at 10 seconds. We're about to see what happens with the anchoring timer once this hits 0 in 3, 2, 1, and... oh, okay, it's just prepare to anchor, and now we've got a 24-hour timer, I guess. Do I need to sit here? Can I leave? I kind of don't want to have to sit here for the next 24 hours, if I'm completely honest. Let's have a look at the graphics. Did the graphics change dramatically on that? We've still got the very sort of... I don't know what you'd call that. It looks like a constellation almost in space, which of course is the place that constellations are supposed to be. But 24 hours, which means, this time tomorrow night, I guess we come back and find out what's going on here. I'm really reluctant to warp away from that, but I guess that's kind of what we have to do at this point. Okay. It's 12:50, so let's jump back and have a look and see if there have been any changes, or if it's a wow. Okay, crikey, that is really coming together. Good to see that it's still here for a start. That's always nice. It does appear as a station in system. That's slowly going from the blueprint sort of outline to the actual ship itself, and I really like how that's looking. Can we actually get an observation on that? Yeah, we can. That's kind of going from the outside in, gradually building itself up. And we've still got 10 hours left on anchoring, apparently, so we'll have to see how that goes from there. I wonder, can we actually dock to it at this point in time? What happens if we try and dock? Approaching the staging point, let's come out to... Our structure is not enabled. There we are. Structure is not enabled. I cannot dock at this point. Okay, good to know it's still here, though. I guess we'll be back in a couple of hours' time, 9 hours, 59 minutes to be exact, and have a look at this actually completed. Well, it's nearly 11 o'clock on a Tuesday evening for me at the moment, but our station is still currently standing out here. We've got less than a minute now to go, so I've come out here in the Nereus High Mobility. I've got the Covert Ops Cloak currently active on it, so that I am hidden should anyone jump in. All day we've had marauding fleets coming through this system, warping right up next to this, having a look, disappearing. We've had a lot of activity around, so I have been extraordinarily nervous. Now, we've actually had a little PvP contest around here, which has been good fun as well, but we are now coming down to the final 10 seconds. I'm then going to dock, start to do some of the fittings, and have a look around at how this actually looks and operates. And 3, 2, 1, and there it is now, complete, anchored. Hopefully now, I should be able to dock into this particular, into the station. I can certainly approach it now, which is very nice. Obviously the, Obviously the Covert Ops Cloak is about to disappear as I get within range of docking. Slow moving ship, but as I said, I've been so paranoid over the past couple of hours that I did want to come in just a Covert Ops, keep my distance. Obviously the guys all around here as well, you can see They've been doing their part, doing this little sort of PvP tournament, like frigate versus frigate and all that kind of stuff, which has been pretty sweet. So I can now jump in, hopefully, and get all this set up. We're within a kilometre, the thing has disappeared, and here we go now. We're inside. Let's have a look at what the station looks like. Okay. It's sort of the Minmatar style, which I like. That looks like it's based on your... based on the race of what you're of you as you're building it, perhaps? I don't know, let's have a look. Manage personal citadel, control the structure in combat, structure fitting, permission to enter, reinforcement, exit time. Cool, well first of all, let's go permission to enter. I think that's only fair that we allow not all to enter, but certainly my contacts, anyone friendly, and in current corporation. That sounds good to me. We can let all them in, and if we look at structure fitting as well, here we have the actual fitting station for the outpost itself. Of course, why did I expect this to look anything different than a standard ship fitting? Awesome, well I'm here in the Nereus, so I think the first things first, it's worth letting people know that they can dock. So hey, you can all dock, so they can come and check this out and see what it's all like. Now for me, I'm going to head into the inventory here. I should have... Sorry, no, on my ship. Whew. Multi-select everything. Move that now into the item hanger on this station. And, of course, fuel tank. Now, I've heard a lot about the fuel on these things, that it is absolutely insane what it requires. So let's move all of that into the fuel tank. See how that lasts. There we go. Otherwise, let's go back to the station fitting and actually put some of those modules in place. So for the high slots, I think we will go for a stand-up medium. The structure is currently damaged. Ah, this would be the whole thing that we saw on the way in, that this is currently repairing. So let's have a look. Current state repairing ends at 23:06:48. It's another 12 minutes. Oh boy, it's constant waiting right now. Okay, well let's pause this. We'll come back in those 12 minutes time and have a look at what happens there. We're now back with all the timers off, so hopefully if I go into the manage now and go into structure fitting, I should be able to actually start equipping some of these bits and pieces. I'm kind of done with timers at this point, so we'll have a look. Anyway, so start up with a standard medium, I think. There we go. And then between a small or a large. I kind of get the feeling that large are going to be a bigger problem here, so let's put that on there. Into the mid slots, we're going to go for one of each of the three. We've got a stand-up stasis webifier, the energy neutralizer, and a warp disruptor. And then for the low slots, which are basically the things you can do in the station, your different systems, that kind of thing, we're going to go for a reprocessing service stator. Oh, I can't have both of those working in one go, so we'll put the repair one on first. That's the one I'd prefer here. Crikey, that requires so much fuel. So much fuel to have that working. I mean, how much do we have? 444 million gigajoules of fuel required. Let's have a look here. If we go into the inventory, you can see that this here, the fuel tank, is currently... It's got a fair amount of stuff in it. I mean, these are... Okay, it's only 2 gigajoules down there. 191 gigajoules for plasmoids. You really do need a lot of stuff in this. Okay, so let's see if I can control it, though. Let's have a little look-see. Thank you kindly, fireworks incoming from Alex. Looks like you can take control of the station itself, which is pretty sweet. And here we are. So let's zoom that out a little bit and have a look around. You can see the modules down there. Okay. Now we've just got to wait for Alex to turn up. There we are. Let's lock on to him. Oh man, that's a slow lock on. That's a really, really slow lock on. Okay. There we go. I can't believe how slow that really is. 22 kilometers away in a cruiser, a caracal of all things. My time has come. Just waiting for that to slowly lock. Good lord, this thing is just taking its sweet time. We'll get the webifier on it. We'll get the warp disruptor on it. Heck, let's get the neutralizer on it and nuke it with some rockets. station rockets coming to the face of Alex there, bless him. I like that I get a warning there, like, crikey, yes, what's going to happen? Flight time 23 seconds, explosion failability. We don't appear to actually have a range on these, which is interesting. It's just going to be straight up by flight time and missile velocity, I guess. So 4,500 meters per second, with 28 seconds. So that's 4,500 times by 28. They're fairly long range. Damage isn't amazingly high, but that is obviously taking Alex out. He can't warp away at this point, which kind of makes me happy. He's well and truly locked on there, thanks to the warp disruptor. There goes his shields. We're down into armor. Let's actually observe. There we are. You can see the Citadel is taking its time to fire. Nice heavy shots, though. Oh, nearly out of armor. There we go. Yep, I've neutralized him. As he says, that eats capacitor. The missile launches, yeah, they're not great, but they don't really need to be. It's more the deterrent. It's going to start doing some damage, and the fact that you're webbed and like locked down as well means that like the fleet can come out and actually start doing some damage. But it's nice to see. It's good to get a good idea of these things ahead of time. I did hear there were slight bugs with some of these. I don't know if that ever got fixed during the final test, so it may be a case that they're not doing as much damage as they should do. Here it comes. Here it comes. Yeah, the net's doing a splendid job. Of course it is. That net is the size of a space station. There we go. That is there blown up. So awesome. There we have it. We can now return into the Citadel and have a look around at any of the other stuff. Okay, back inside. Me parked in my Macariel. No, I'm not going to kill your pod. It takes way too long to lock on in this thing. Let's have a look at what else we have in Manage. So we've got the control there, the structure fitting we've had a look at, permission to enter we can have a look at, and the reinforcement time we have looked at otherwise as well. So crikey, the main thing is just straight up the amount of fuel that this system is going to actually take up. I can't believe the amount that actually requires to put those bottom bits online as well. If I go back into the Manage and the structure fitting to bring these online, I mean, how much do we actually have in the hangar? I should probably go and have a look and see how much we can get out here, but there we are. We only have 32. It's hard to see those. Really hard to see those super quickly. We've only got 321,000. We need 14 million. Crikey, that's a lot of fuel. That's something, I think that's an insane amount of fuel, quite frankly. I think if everyone in the Catskull Cartel was putting their PI onto just fuel, we would probably just about be able to hold on to one of these things. That is way too much fuel for a 200 size corporation. That needs to come down, I think. But that's why we're here in a test. That's why we're here in a test. And you know what? That was pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We've had a great day today. We got to build this, start building it last night. It's miraculously stayed untouched throughout the day. We've had a few bits of fleet combat in and around N7 BIY. What a great way to end the final test here. We had a little PvP tournament out here. You saw some of the guys fighting as I pulled up. All I can say is huge thank you to everyone involved in this. Jade Zion, Yatsuki, Alex the Master, every one of the guys from Third Hangar Industries, which is our little engineering department in the Catskull Cartel. Everyone in Third Hangar Industries has done a fantastic job helping get this built. Yatsuki as well, especially. Huge thanks for the loan of the, well, I say loan, the gift of the bestower and the Nereus High Mobility for getting this actually built and operated. Well done to everyone in the cartel, though, for getting all of that fuel together. I think it was Jade who put together a lot of the modules and like the fittings for this. That is a really, really cool little thing, and I can't wait to see these in live. I just think they need to be using a lot less fuel than they currently are there. I've pretty much emptied the Catskull Cartel's fuel hangar, and it won't even start these things up. That's an insane amount of fuel. Anyway, as you can see, these guys are off to, like, you know, do some more combat outside, so I'm considering just undocking quickly now and taking one or two of them out on the way out, but there we go. That is the Capsuleer Outpost. It looks amazing. I'm so proud that we've managed to build that. You know, that's a little bit of space that we've built ourselves. That's not just a random station that you fly up to in Eve Echoes. That is a little station in the overview with our name on it that we built ourselves, and that I'm super proud of. That's awesome. Anyway, folks, thank you ever so much for all of your support throughout this final test. Huge thanks to everyone who joins the Catskull Cartel. I know I've been sponging off you guys so much throughout all of this, with you guys supplying ships, with supplying fittings, donating money to keep me going and making content. Hopefully there should just about be enough content going to keep us going until launch. We'll have to see. I might have to spread out toward the end, like maybe only 3 a week, but hopefully we should spread out till global launch, which of course is mid-August, only a couple of weeks away now. I cannot wait. Anyway, folks, again, thank you all so much for all of your support. Happy sailing. I hope you've enjoyed the final test, and see you in Eve Echoes when this launches in August.